Yes, I do want to tag in that video.
Nice. Oh my gosh. Big Brother has signed in. It knows me. All right. So we have a recording going on Zoom. We are live on Level Up Coaching and live on
Kevin Harmon.
Just on Kevin Harmon. I wasn't sure if you did Bridges.
This is my first time. Might as well throw it on my own personal device.
Why not? That's awesome. So we've got multiple stuff going on here. That way we've got the opportunity for more people to join us and ask questions.
Yeah.
So
fantastic.
the reason I have Kevin here is we are talking about purpose, because a lot of people in business don't even think about their purpose. They don't think about what they want to do or why they're in it. So this is a good opportunity because you really focus on people's purpose in terms of working with your clients. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and who your clients typically are.
Got it. So I'm Kevin Harmon. For all of you who don't know that, I own a business called Bridges for Education. I work with high school juniors through college sophomores or so, or the kid who's still living on mom and dad's couch, and work with them to create confidence and clarity around what their purpose is, where they're going next, what they want to do with their lives, really just giving them the freedom to be whoever their best self is.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that I know you and I have talked about before is one of the first things you've got to figure out with your clients is what's their purpose. So how do you go about that beginning process of figuring out what is their purpose?
Well, for many of my students, think about your 17-year-old today. They have more pressure than 17-year-olds from 50 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The extracurricular activities that they're doing, the stuff that they have to do, the ACT prep that they're doing, the college visits, like this whole conversation about how to get to your next phase of life, except the conversation about, so what do you want to do with all this stuff that's getting you there?
Yes.
That conversation's lost, unfortunately. And what is possible in that conversation is for those students just to take a moment, breathe, and look at where they want their future to go.
Okay.
One of the things I create with them is an opportunity for them to look at multiple possible futures.
Okay.
And what they start to notice is, this future has the same steps that started as this future and as this future and as this future. Oh, you mean if I just take the steps I already know how to take, I can fulfill on what's there for me? So it's exciting for students to really get clear that heading towards their future, creating a purpose, getting very clear on what they're naturally inclined to be good at, and creating a destination map, and then working towards getting it. Awesome. It's how those students get to have freedom around their future. And that's really the key.
And that's got to be pretty empowering for them to, at 17, 18, 19, know where they want to go and why they want to do it. Because I can tell you, here I am at 41 years old. I'm okay with saying that because I've earned every damn year, let me say. At 41, it took me till I was about 38 or 39 to figure out who I wanted to be when I grew up and why I wanted to do it. So I think that's amazing that there are kids who are working with you who are getting to figure that out really early on. But of course, my clients are grown-ups who are in the business world, who are trying to figure out why they're in business. So what's a first step that they can take to start figuring out, is there a particular process or question they should ask themselves that will move them towards their purpose?
Got it. So there's a couple things to do in regards to identifying your purpose.
Okay.
Looking at what you're naturally inclined to be good at.
Okay.
And then looking at what you're interested in. So organizational chart speaking, which seat inside of a company or in a place of business or a place of work or family do you really fit in? Which seats, which hats do you really want to be wearing?
Right.
So you can identify which the ones you should be wearing, not should, I'm going to shit on you, but should, that's the one I really want to do, right?
Right.
So when you get clear the seat that you're naturally inclined to be good at, and then start to look at what fields that's interesting for you, the field and the type of work that you're going to be good at is going to live in every field. So when you can really be interested, and with a lot of your coaching clients, it's identifying, okay, so I can work with this company doing like Pampered Chef, like you love cooking, or you do Just Plus, or you do Isogenics, or you do Park Lane. There's just all these different worlds that you can fit inside of. So identifying where you fit as far as the type of work is completely separate from identifying the field. And that's something that's traditionally collapsed. So people say, well, I'm going to be a doctor. It's like, okay, so what kind of doctor are you going to be? Like, are you going to be the one that sees all of the patients and you're in an emergency room? You want high-paced, fast-paced, chaotic environment? Do you want to be the extreme specialist neurosurgeon that's like that? Or do you want to be the one that doesn't see anybody, stays in a lab and works on curing Alzheimer's? Right.
Do you want to be a pathologist?
Yeah, there's all these different venues and places to really explore it. So it's just identifying what you're naturally inclined to be good at, and then looking at where you're really interested and how those overlap each other. Focus and clarity starts to show up when you start using multiple lenses.
I can't. Yeah, that's now fantastic. We're leveling up. I know, right? Yeah, of course I'm getting a call right in the middle of this. I thought I silenced my phone. My bad. Anyway,
Mario theme. It works.
It's Mario, right? We're leveling up.
Well, how do they fit in with what you want? Cat Schwartz. What? Let me look. What do you?
So I think she's talking about how does your purpose fit in with what you want?
Well, the way I look at it with purpose, especially with my students, is identifying we're all here to do something. Like, we showed up here to do something. And we have, hey, Timothy.
Hi, Timothy.
We have wow, that's going to get distracting.
I know, right?
Things that pop up.
Go ahead.
When you're aligned with what it is you want, your purpose can show up and it can be just a natural self-expression. It just shows up as what you're doing, as opposed to something you have to force or something you have to roll yourself out of bed to go to do this job that you can't stand so that you can, it's about creating that freedom and just that natural self-expression of who you are in the world.
Sure.
And that's what I really get clear and work on with my clients, is to what's that natural self-expression for them for their future.
Awesome. So for me, what came out of that, being a coach, would be asking them, do you think that asking them what's the end result that you want to see, would that help drive them towards their purpose? Because Absolutely. I would think an end result would then bounce them back to why they're doing what they're doing, because this is what they're creating in the world. This is what they're creating, or in their life, depending on what their purpose is, whether it's for themselves or for their family or for their community or for the world in general, right? So looking at end results.
I have all my clients set goal plans and accomplishment plans, picking a date that's in existence in the future and saying this will be done by this date.
Nice.
And then you break it down. So you've got 10 years, 3 years, 1 year, 90 days. What are you doing in the next 2 weeks? I don't hunt, but if you have people who know how to own guns, right? You have your iron sight at the front, you have your iron sight at the end, and then you have your target. As long as all of them are aligned, you'll hit what you're aiming for.
Yes.
And that's really when you're very clear with what you're naturally good at and what you're interested in, you can create a destination, create an alignment path that gets you there based on the mile markers and milestones.
Oh my God, I love that. That's awesome. That is such a great analogy. All right. So
my two favorite people.
Hi, Virginia.
Hi, Virginia. All right, now.
Let's see.
I'm saying see more. Whatever.
Oh, we'll have to answer that question later, Kat, because we can't see the whole thing right now, unfortunately. Hi, Becky. Feel free to jump in. Becky is someone I know from my former direct sales life. So I know, I love it. Here. You want to know why? It's because you've never done this live before, and everyone's going,
"What's happening?
Why is Kevin live? That's craziness." So, in terms of first things people should do is figure out kind of what their end result is.
Yeah. Where do you want to go?
Where do they want to go? Why do they want to do it? Hi, Teresa. So then from there, in terms of looking at their purpose, so, what hat is their favorite one to wear, right? So that helps put them in a particular, area, but then also looking, so what's your favorite thing to do now? What's your end result? And then figuring out what are the steps in between there. So what would you say would be the next step that you'd either recommend for one of your students or for a client in business who is trying to figure out their purpose?
Once they've identified what they're naturally good at, where they're going, what they're naturally good at, what they're interested in, and have a pathway, it's to find the people that you need to talk to.
Right.
Because it's not what you know, it's who you know. I mean, it's really great. Hey, Josh, it's really great to know people, right? It's great to know things, and to really be effective in the world, it's about who you want to talk to. Start networking, get connected. I've got a client who has no right being inside of a graduate neuroscience lab as a sophomore in college. This is for graduate students, and she's got a job there because she knew what she wanted walking in the door, knew the people that she needed to talk to, knew the people that she started having to look for, and created a space to where she is a freshman sophomore is going to conferences and helping run the booth and explaining things. And they're like, so where are you with your graduate thesis? They're like, oh, I'm just a sophomore. And people are just mind blown because she's doing the things that are there for her to do. As a natural self-expression. You end up getting things come with velocity. You just move forward with it. And we've got another question. Oh, we have another question. So many squirrels. Okay, I know, right? I ask clients and prospects, what is your BHAG? Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And for those of you who don't know what a BHAG is, it's a big hairy, audacious goal, right? So when I talk to my clients and they're trying to figure out, okay, so what's a BHAG? And what I tell them is whenever you think about that, when you sit down and close your eyes and visualize your end result, do you get goosebumps? Do you get that spine tingling starting at the top of your head that just goes all the way down? Do you get that little tiny knot in your stomach of, oh my God, that'd be so cool, but I don't know how to get there? Like there's got to be some sort of, for me, a physical reaction to the results such that people then go, yes, that means something to me. That's a motivator in terms of moving you in the right direction. Very similar. I end up having my students just free write and write a purpose statement for a while. And then I have them cater it to specific personalities, and they can get it really concise, really clear, so they can just share it with somebody. And all of a sudden they're just like left with an expression of, wow, this is what it is. This is what I want. This is something I can vocalize. It's something I can tell people. All of a sudden they see a future to live into. Yes. That's really what a purpose gives you. It gives you a future to live into. So think about this. When you're talking about a vacation, going on vacation, it doesn't happen until you buy the ticket. Right. Yes. So until you're freed up enough to have something in existence, something created, something for the future, something there, you're always winning the game you're playing. Right. And if you don't have a game, like you don't have a set game to play, then just get the chills in like your lower back when you get it all, and just like a cord of energy gets struck through your body. It's awesome. Exactly. Well, I know you've got another thing to get to, so this was a great start of conversation about purpose, and I think we need to have this conversation again soon to go for the next step and how to go through that. So thank you, everybody, for joining us in all the various ways. Thank you, everybody. It was awesome. So much fun. Oh, wait. Afternoon. Yes. One more quick thing. Yes. How do they get a hold of you? Kevin Harmon, so it's KevinHarrman at bridgesfored.com, bridgesfored.com. That's also my website. Also, you've got connected to me, tagged through Facebook. I also have Bridges for Education on Facebook. You can find me there. That's how you reach out. Awesome. So if you have a high schooler or a college student who's still trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up, heck, if you are a 20-something and you're still trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. Or you're a student who knows what they want but has no idea where to go to school, or thinks that something's in the way. Like, no, if you know what your purpose is and you're not fulfilling on it, give it up and come have a conversation with me. It'll be the best coffee you ever had. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. So thank you so much, sir. Welcome. Appreciate you. Absolutely. Awesome. Bye, everybody. Bye. That was cool. Right?
All right. Hey, we got.
So it just starts
that's the video.
replaying.
All right.
Yep.
Post
So you
it.
just
It's posted.
post it. Yep.
It is posted.
Super cool.
And I'm gonna like it. There we go.
I will like it as well. What's really funny is somebody who joined us on the video is blocked from me. So I'm sure she was like, "Who's Kevin Harmon talking to?"
Who's that?
Kata Brock. We're blocked from being friends.
Oh, I didn't. Wow, there's 44 views. That's insane.
I know, because people were. I'm not kidding you. When you're somebody who has never done a live before, and then all of a sudden you go live, everyone's like,
"What are you doing?
Holy crap! Why is Kevin Harmon going live?"
What's happening?
I know.
What's happening?
Well, thank you so much for taking time to do this. Why is it still recording? I thought I stopped it.